It was just another Tuesday. I was on my way to get a double-shot espresso, the lifeblood of my existence, when I realized something was off. Terribly, horribly off. I turned onto what I thought was Elm Street, but where the sign should have been, there was just nothing. An empty pole. I blinked. Maybe the caffeine withdrawal was finally getting to me. But then I looked down the road. Every single street sign, every stop sign, every yield sign, every single rectangular piece of metal that told us where to go and what to do had vanished. The city woke up to a world without directions. It started subtly. A few extra honks, a couple of confused U-turns. But by 8 a.m., downtown was a symphony of chaos. Cars were playing a city-wide game of chicken. A mail truck was doing donuts in what used to be a four-way intersection, the driver just shrugging helplessly. People were yelling addresses out their windows, hoping for a miracle. Is this Maple Avenue? Someone screamed. I don't know. Is this Oak Street? Another cried back. It was vehicular anarchy. My mission for coffee was forgotten. This was bigger. This was a story. I grabbed my camera and dove into the beautiful mess. The first person I talked to was Brenda, a yoga instructor who was now meditating on the hood of her Prius, which was parked sideways across 3 lanes. She told me the universe is telling us to let go of labels. Man, we're all just on a road, right? Thanks, Brenda. Then things got weird. By noon, the city wasn't just confused, it was adapting. And the adaptations were creative. A group of engineering students had created a giant trebuchet to launch color-coded balls of paint at intersections. Red for stop, green for go. It was brilliant until a rogue green paint ball hit the mayor's motorcade. That was a fun press conference. But the real star of the show was a mysterious figure who called himself the scientist. Overnight, his inventions started popping up. Instead of a stop sign, there'd be a giant, inflatable hand that would pop up from the ground. Effective, but terrifying. At crosswalks, you didn't see a walk signal. Instead, a hologram of a dancing cat would appear, beckoning you to cross. It was cute, but it caused a 10-car pileup because everyone stopped to film it. His most controversial invention, the emotional traffic light. It was a massive screen that displayed a face. If the face was smiling, you could go. If it was frowning, you had to stop. The problem was, its mood was synced to citywide social media trends. One viral cat video, and we had green lights for an hour. One political argument online, and the entire city was gridlocked in a sea of frowns. It was a logistical nightmare, but you have to admit, it was peak performance art. The city was divided. Half the population thought the scientist was a genius, a hero for our chaotic times. The other half wanted him in jail for, and I quote the police chief, aggravated public mischief and unauthorized feline holography. Protests and counter-protests erupted. People who loved the inflatable hands faced off against people who missed the simple elegance of a red octagon. It was the stupidest, most passionate civil unrest I'd ever seen. I became obsessed. Who was this scientist? I spent days chasing leads, following whispers. I analyzed the tech, the design, the sheer, unadulterated absurdity of it all. The dancing cat hologram. There was something familiar about its moves. The inflatable hand. It had a certain flair. It all led me to a dusty, forgotten workshop on the edge of town, a place that used to belong to a legendary but reclusive toy inventor named Alastair Finch. He'd vanished years ago, they said, heartbroken after his magnum opus, a self-aware teddy bear, was deemed too emotionally needy for the market. The workshop door was unlocked. Inside, it was a wonderland of half-finished gadgets and whimsical blueprints. And there, in the center of it all, hunched over a console, was an old man in a lab coat covered in glitter. It was Alastair Finch, the scientist. He didn't even look up when I came in. He just pointed at a screen showing the city's chaos. "Isn't it beautiful?" he said, his voice raspy. For years, I tried to give the world joy through toys. They rejected it. So I took away their order, their boring, predictable signs. And I gave them surprise. I asked him, "But why, Alastair? Why all this?" He finally turned, and his eyes were wild with a strange kind of glee. "Because we've forgotten how to play. We follow the signs, we obey the rules, we drive in straight lines. We've lost our sense of wonder." I didn't want to cause harm. I just wanted to see what would happen if, for one day, everyone had to look up from their phones, talk to each other, and maybe, just maybe, enjoy the ride. He explained that all the original signs were safe, stored in a climate-controlled warehouse. He'd used a series of synchronized, high-powered magnets to lift them all at once. It was genius. It was madness. It was brilliantly, ridiculously human. Then came the climax. As the police closed in on the workshop, Alastair hit a giant red button. On his main screen, a countdown appeared. "What's that?" I asked, my heart pounding. He just smiled. The finale. All over the city, his inventions went into overdrive. The inflatable hands started waving goodbye. The dancing cat holograms took a final bow. And the emotional traffic lights all broke into a citywide, synchronized smile. At that exact moment, from the sky, thousands of little parachutes began to fall. Attached to each one was a street sign. The original street signs. They floated down like metallic snowflakes, gently landing back on their designated poles with a satisfying clink of magnets reconnecting. The chaos subsided. Order was restored, not by force, but by a gentle, absurd rain of street signs. Alastair was arrested, of course. He got community service, which he's serving by designing a new, more engaging playground for the city park. But things were never quite the same. People drive a little differently now. They hesitate at intersections, maybe look at each other, share a nod. Every now and then, someone will swear they saw a flicker of a dancing cat out of the corner of their eye. The city got its signs back, but it lost a little bit of its predictability. And I think, in a weird way, we all gained something too. A reminder that sometimes the most direct route isn't the most interesting one. And that even in total chaos, you can find a little bit of magic. Now, if you'll excuse me, I think I've earned that double shot espresso. Thanks for watching, everyone. It's been a wild ride. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and maybe, just maybe, take a different route home today. You never know what you might find.